deeper sound to your life.
Hello, traders. Welcome to the Friday afternoon stream.
It's time for Power Hour.
Just close the fucking door. Close the door.
All right, we're in the last 40 minutes of trading on Wall Street before the weekly close, and we have history upon us. You've got the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq that have already made all-time highs again. It's just like every single day, going through the quad into the gymnasium, streaking to fresh levels we've never seen in history. Today it's being driven by Microsoft, which is unbelievable. I mean, Nvidia's good too, but it does pale in comparison to Microsoft. Microsoft is going for, in less than 40 minutes, it will be the highest weekly candle, the 8th consecutive record close. And then Nvidia will have its 5th consecutive record close. So 8 weeks in a row, every single week, Microsoft all-time highs. 5 weeks, Nvidia. So that's, definitely been driving this market. We'll look at those. Bitcoin, unfortunately, broke some support last night. It was the end of the world, 114,787, and we've already rallied. We're back to 116.6. They're just, right now, it looks like testing the little manufactured support we've been discussing, 16.7, 16.9, and that's it. That's all that's happening. It'd be really cool to see us, buyers recapture that. I'd be, had to restart my computer, so I lost my work, but like right there, I mean, that's where you're at. So they broke support. They're back testing it as resistance. Hopefully the sellers fail again and buyers recapture, and then it was all a bad dream, and then we can proceed onward to Valhalla or wherever, which is price discovery. Resumption above 123,231. Daily, it looks like nothing even happened. Like, huh? Oh yeah, there's a red candle. Oh no. All right. That's it. I mean, just pausing at the 1272 fib extension. I mean, to go sideways and consolidate like this, I mean, isn't this the most appropriate place for it to happen? Yeah, it is. You break to all-time highs. You just go to the 1272 fib extension, and yeah, we had some intraday price action above it, but that's it. That's the place. So I'm not sure if we're going to see 112. It would make the most sense, but a lot of things don't make much sense on Bitcoin a lot of times. Like, sometimes you don't get confirmation lows before way higher, all that. Sometimes you're not making higher lows. You're making a lower low before you rally way higher. So yeah, we just look at Bitcoin because it's the, one of the greatest inventions in human history for sure, and we honor it and pay homage to it by looking at it first and always having the price of it above my head, and its chart always above my head too. Right? That's a lot of honor for one asset, where we are a technical analysis stream where we don't make predictions, not trying to find good setups, using the framework. That's why we're here. So hype in the chat for it not being as bad as it was earlier. We got, again, 114,789 or so. I guess another really good thing we could declare from this whole situation is Ethereum's strength against Bitcoin, where it pulled back, but who cares? Like, it didn't even pull back. Let's just be real. It pulled back from its highest point, 38.66, yes, but the key inflection point that is so real, you look left, we look at this every stream, right? That is definitely a level. It's certain. Okay, it's been resistance. I don't even know. It's been support like one time, extended out more. Maybe like that was the first swing low ever, May 2021, and then it was resistance. So I guess it was support one time, December 2021, and it rallied, but it was all over anyway because they put in another lower high, more distribution, and then it finally rolled over. So I think it's extremely significant that Ethereum is trading above 35.20, 35.80. Given enough time, you will be seeing $3,900 to $4,000+ faster than you can imagine. So Bitcoin holding up here. great for Ethereum. What happened? I think today, BlackRock's digital asset manager resigned from BlackRock to join SBET, which is virtually an Ethereum treasury company. They just take on debt and they buy Ethereum. So something's going on under the hood with this asset. And maybe it's just a spring coiled because, short interest on this thing is like all-time highs, and it's been that way for like most of the year 2025, so something probably crazy is going to happen to Ethereum after such a long period of sideways consolidation. Looking at the monthly, I mean, dude, just this is crazy. Now, it's, of course, yeah, like you always want to buy the low of the range, not the top. But look at this 50% candle this month, 6 days until it closes. I wonder where we're at, by Sunday, or when is it? When's the monthly candle close? Will be next Thursday evening. So you want to be sticking around. I'll be live for that, of course. The monthly close. So I'm hoping we're eclipsing the highs from May of last year, so we can at least say it would be the highest monthly candle close since all-time highs November 2021. We're so close we could do it. So if Bitcoin recovers here, I think it's a no-brainer that we're gonna see multi-year monthly candle close highs on Ethereum, just due to the fact that you cannot get any pullback, nothing. It's amazing. Hype in the chat. Okay. And Ethereum paired against Bitcoin, we're seeing indication of trend reversal stuff, right? Like we can say consecutively higher highs, higher lows. I'm not sure which chart. Yeah, you made the lowest low, you made highs, you made a higher low than the previous low, you now made higher highs than the previous high. Yep, beginning trend reversal stuff. I wonder if we could plot like a channel now it's confined within. Oh, look at that's beautiful. Well, that does indicate maybe you're a little overbought in this new uptrend, right? Yep, something like that. Yeah, so they're testing the top. So you pull back here while Bitcoin outperforms, or you just break it because there's really no resistance here until 4 million Satoshis. That's like your target area. It just is. So I'm wondering if they're just gonna take it up there fast, sooner rather than later, fast. Yep. Ethereum paired against Bitcoin, trends reversing, and it's the first higher highs, higher lows we've seen in a very, very, very long time. I'm thinking since, I guess since 2022. That's the first time we've seen something like this. So pay attention, right? You're saying pay attention to Bitcoin's Wyckoff accumulation schematic, Bitcoin dominance accumulation schematic. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to the Wyckoff distribution schematic for years. And now I'm saying maybe it's time to start paying attention to new data presenting itself after all these years. Something's changing. Okay. Noted. That's right. Has been 84 years. What's the crown on your name? The crown's like, it's this YouTube thing. They're trying to compete with Twitch. And it's like an engagement inducer. It's cool for that. So it's like, unless people are super chatting, it's like the people that are most active in the chat are getting the crowns. If someone super chats, it gives them points too. I think if you like it, the stream, you get points. They're chat engagement inducer, I guess you would call it. All right. Stream support inducing tool. Anyway, that's what it is. It's new. That's Ethereum, and then we can look at XRP. That's down 2.3%, definitely correcting after that incredible dragon tail. But we've discussed $2.90 to $3. That's your first level, and you're lucky. You're fortunate that even if you lost $2.90, you go to $2.65, $2.70. It's another steel wall of potential support. So I just, dude, it's a long-term thing. XRP has become a long-term holds. Okay, if you care about price discovery, you have to deal with these pullbacks. Hopefully you got in at least somewhere lower the dragon tail breakout, but you're just sitting tight. you're waiting for Bitcoin to recover. If it doesn't recover immediately and you start going down to 112, 114, okay, well, we're going to go see 290. We're going to go see 265, 272. Oh, no, things get bad on Bitcoin. Oh, then we're going to go see 243. We're going to make a higher low than the previous established swing lows, pivot, and run again at some point. If you have the patience for it, you now got the trend. The trend is your friend, okay? This is a good situation to be in crypto. People just like are very short-sighted. I've just discussed in the past couple of days, it's best to not even look at the daily. Just look at the weekly. You look at the weekly, something happened? Dude, like Bitcoin's weekly? Oh no, Bitcoin sold off today. It's over, right? Oh no, nothing even happened. There is no battle. Yeah, on the 4 hour, there's a big battle, man, at 116.8. But on the weekly, I mean, all it is.
You worry too much. Everything is beautiful. There's nothing to worry about.
That's right, Joe Pesci, nothing to worry about. Dude, this thing could come to 109, and you'd still have nothing to worry about. Even on altcoins, yeah, they would lose more of their value, but they'd still put in most likely higher lows than the previous lows and run again later. Yep. And then you got a couple, Bitcoin Cash and Maker, that are godlike. They didn't even notice. They did not get the memo that Bitcoin sold off at all. They're like the Maker trade setup is beginning to play out today. No stop out. Didn't even sell off with the dump on Bitcoin like some of these did. And then Bitcoin Cash just tested a key inflection point for the third time now. 3 times. Anyway, so XRP looking good. And then we can go to Solana. Yeah, that it is profit take level 1 and 2. And it reverses. And guess what's going to happen most likely? Wherever the sell-off concludes, it's going to be a higher low than the previous discernible swing lows. And then it will eventually probably run to higher highs than the previous discernible swing highs. And the uptrend will continue, where you pretty much have it, and we could plot a channel here maybe so we could conceptualize that trend there. It's like that you're now uptrending. I know it starts getting busy, right? You have structures that you broke out of that are cool to have on the chart, but I guess at this point we could just start, having it like that, where you can see the trend is your friend. So think about this trend if they respected the level. So what are they doing right now in this channel? Anchor point 1, 2, and 3, and 4. You got 4 anchor points of the channel. Very nice channel. They are trying to hold the heart line now as support. That's really good. The upper section of the trend, and the top of the trend is going to be 216. That's like a third target of that trade setup. Oh yeah. So I think you got no problems, man. You're pulling back. Who cares? And some good things have happened. I think a lot of these alts, yes, they've had crazy runs, and you had a crypto pullback to devastate the FOMO moon boys that have entered the market in the past couple weeks. They had to pay, right? Again, it is a rite of passage. If you are new to crypto, expect to get murdered, because if you're new to crypto, that means you're not here because you give a crap about learning technicals or risk management. You're here because of greed. That's what brings most people to crypto, almost all of them. So you got to learn. You can either learn from your own experience or someone else's. You can hopefully find the stream so we can discuss it. You can have an intervention before you even need one, but it rarely happens. So I don't know. What do you want? This thing could go to 145 and still be in this uptrend. Yep. As long as you make a higher low than 130, it'd be the highest low of the new trend we're in on Solana. All right. BNB, no care. Doesn't matter. Like, all is well here. We'll get double. Oh yeah, I got the. That's right. We made it into a channel. You want to talk about trends? Here's your trend. To break the heart line here on BNB, I think will have consequence. Remember, we saw all-time highs just a couple days ago. Just a couple days ago, we saw the highest daily candle close ever, highest weekly candle close ever on Sunday, I believe. Blue skies, I think, once you break 793.86, the high from December. Again, targeting for 1,000, and if not 1,000, fine. 970, the top of this channel. 1, 2, 3 anchor points on the top, a multitude on the bottom. It's a very pretty channel, and so that's it, man. 950s and $1,000 is the 1618. You know, you might get there after pulling back, pausing if you keep running. But dude, who even cares? So it's like, oh no, these bad things happened on the daily. So check the weekly. The daily looks incredible. We don't even need the weekly on Binance, so we would for some to cope with that right there, man. Record close on Sunday. Hopefully you have another one, and just to break this one last level. You've already broken the big one, and we were, you know, I was pinging people in stream, screaming at you at the top of my lungs. Remember, the mic was like popping. It was like, dude, calm down. We're out of that, and so all we have are FIB extensions now, and probably price discovery. It's almost like canary behavior, right? X, A, B, C. You know the C to D wave. 2618, bro. The memes. Okay. So this is like damage assessment after Bitcoin's sell-off, that Bitcoin's now at its highest level since that drawdown last night. We just hit it. We just saw it. So got to break 116.9 or whatever. But to recapture that would be phenomenal. And maybe it's just turning into some other consolidation structure. Maybe it is flagging, you know. There was no follow through at all yet. So rejoice that it's not a big deal. Okay, what we have witnessed the past couple of days, not a big deal. Dogecoin losing 16%, XRP losing 16% of its value in 2 days or less. It wasn't a big deal. It will all resolve positively, most likely, given enough time. Bro, nothing looks bullish. Dude, are you watching the stream? Brock BNB is removed from, it just made all-time highs 2 days ago. It broke the multi-year, the previous cycle top from 2021. That's a phenomenal breakout. How, and then the trend is higher highs, higher lows for years. Tell me how this is not bullish. Please, you can say, bro, nothing looks bullish, question mark. Go ahead and present an argument that would refute what I just said via technicals. We know you can't, because that doesn't even make sense. Dogecoin pulling back after a 60+% run. Only coming back to formally test some key levels at 22 cents. Major resistance point from 2024, 2022. You pull, it doesn't even matter. They could, it's above the 200 moving average. You broke the supply line of the 2025 downtrend. It could go down to 18 cents. It's still going to be bullish. Sorry, until you're taking out the previous swing low, you're making a higher low. So either now or later, Dogecoin will most likely hit. Remember, it hit target 1 of the trade setup. There is target 2, and there's target 3, and there's probably an insane target 4 I didn't put on there because we're trying to do traditional targets for education, but because it's crypto. But yeah, there would probably be a 4 and 5 target when this is all said and done. Please, I want to see like what someone would say. Nothing looks bullish. Anyone got something to say? Hey, you can be his lawyer if you want. You know, you can be his attorney and speak for Barack about what he thinks. So I'm trying to get this, one of my chart layouts. I'm redoing it real quick so we can have it. Let's see. One sec. There it is. Futures. My futures. I must have my futures that are just face melting, unstoppable. We got 20 minutes until the weekly and daily candle close. If you're enjoying this week's all-time highs every day on the stock market, hit that like button, that bell, that sub. Thanks so much for being here. Steve B, it's true they do. Yeah, positive. Well, I mean, it's 99% positive. Yeah, but it's like someone's like saying that, it's like it needs to be called out because it doesn't make any sense, right? What's up, Mr. You used to watch me back in 2021. Those were the days, man. Those were the days. But those days, it seems like, will be returning if this reversal's real. Okay, we started. It's the beginning. It's like the genesis of a new trend for altcoins after an entire half a year of down.
Do you think the 4-year cycle is dead, replaced by a sustained Bitcoin and crypto boom driven by institutions, ETFs, post-Genius Act, etc.? Thank you, Mitch.
I don't know about a 4-year cycle, James. You know, that's like Rudy Poo. Like, okay, let's theorize that. I mean, is that something that geniuses from the 1940s and 20s and 60s wrote about? Nah, we don't have, you know, studies on it. Like, so I'm just sticking with the technicals here. And like, we know trend analysis, and when a trend reverses, we're gonna be discussing it, and like that's kind of like happening, like Dogecoin on the weekly. Just think about the amount of higher lows we've been seeing for years now. Okay, so this, if the TA is respected, your target 43 and 48 cents, aggressive harmonic targets, which is like the highest point on this Coinbase chart. I know it went to 71 cents Saturday Night Live. Oh my God. But I don't think there was much resistance up there anyway. So that's your hardcore target. Like, it's the weekly though. So it could take a few months to resolve that way. You just had a huge run up. You just hit one target of a trade setup, right? Someone just made 60% of their position, and now it's pulling back. And look, they broke. Just think about what's happening on Doge this week. They broke the resistance. What resistance? It's so clear. It's clear as day, clear as week. Okay. They broke it, and now they're attempting to reconfirm its validity when it was once resistance as support now. And if they are successful in this back test, then we should run higher and see target 2 and 3 plus of the trade setup. So that's why you have profit taking levels, because for a swing trader, because you'll typically get, you know, a run on one, and then like Baba, for instance. Okay, like it doesn't, you're not going to hit all your targets. You're typically going to, over time, hit one target, pull back, run later, target 2, pull back, target 3, pull back. I mean, that's why they're profit taking levels. So it's like, you can see what happened, and it's not even over yet. Like you're poising for target 4 now, because the trend completely reversed. And that's what these M shapes can usher in. And so when it took off, it hit target 1 and rallied, almost saw target 2, very, very close, but fell just shy. A macro event happened or something. They pulled it back. Look at this pullback. People take profit at profit taking levels, and then sell-offs occur. Then people reaccumulate. Higher lows come in, and those events are like, oh look, we're reversing the trend to the upside now. We're no longer, we stopped making a lower low at the pattern completion zone of the Gartley, but we had not really made a higher high. Here's a high, here's a low, here's a higher high than the previous high, here's a higher low than the previous low. Okay, trend analysis, trend reversal stuff. Look, and then a pivot, and then a rally to what? Hit target 3, or hit target 2 and 3 on this wave, and then pull back, right? And now you have one low, a second low. Both of these lows are higher than all the other lows. What does that mean? More than before. You're in an uptrend now. And now you're recapturing this 120 level, and guess what? XABC, I see a little wave structure, C wave completing. 164 is on deck, and that's your final target. Now, of course, they could break it, it goes higher, but remember, trade setups are just chapters in the book. Okay, this was chapter 1 of the trend we didn't know at the time. And if it completes, then the chapter concludes, but the book, the bullish book, could continue where it's the 200s, 300s, whatever, because China's market, accumulation structure there. So Anyway, just going into, I mean, this is like kind of where we are, you know, like on Dogecoin, like type 2, and it started running and it's hit a profit taking level and it's pulling back now. That's like Doge, dude. But the thing is, Doge is prettier because this is like a continuation M shape, because the trend had already reversed. You're already making higher lows, so it's even better a little bit, I think, than Baba. Anyway, okay, so looked at these coins. Great. Cardano top 10 hits resistance, pulled back, whatever. It can go to 68 cents and still be okay, whatever. And then we're just looking at top 10, and then like Tron. Tron's just phenomenal. Like, this thing is outperforming almost every other crypto in the world, and will probably be at 35.5 cents sometime soon, 618. And then after that, I mean, there's just not much resistance after that. I mean, there's no resistance at the 618, to be real. The last resistance I'm seeing on the Binance chart is 31.9 cents. This 50% retrace. Like, this is it, man. I don't even know where I got that. It's more like not even a resistance on this chart. I don't even know why I have this here. Maybe it's like the weekly or something. Yeah, it's the weekly. That's why I have it plotted. This is it, man. Like, they break this 886, 42 cents plus beyond. It's incredible. Like, there are not many cryptos in the world that exist that look like this, man. I'm just being real. Hey, Bitcoin, big news, chat. Bruh. Buyers recapturing 116.8 right now, with 12 minutes and change till the closing bell on Wall Street. I guess New York Stock Exchange, they're pushing it higher, man. This is great news. Now we just need to make a higher high than one of these highs. But like, phenomenal. This is really good for your favorite beanie babies, your altcoins, man. Yeah, dude. Well, spaceship stream, all right. Well, I'm having hard enough time just streaming normally with this PC these days. So at some point, maybe after a rebuild, I don't know. Dude, the amount of things involved with that spaceship, it's intimidating. The amount of man hours that went into making it all work was crazy, and then the acting involved that have to do with the spaceship, and just a lot, man. Anyway, and it's like we're taking away from the charts. So Tron, not really any altcoin out there quite like this. BNB, similar-ish, but Tron's even better, I think. Okay, this is a top 10 crypto, and if it continues like this, it might be it might take out Doge and Cardano maybe at some point. I don't know. It's beautiful. 117 on Bitcoin. No, the Intel trade is not cooked. You have to understand, like, yeah, bad earnings, it sucks. But did it break the previous discernible swing low? Has it broken the trading range? No, it hasn't. So, yeah, bad earnings. We all know, like, leading into earnings, it can make or break you in the short term, like Tesla. And remember, we were talking about yesterday, chat. It's all over for Tesla. It's doomed, and it still could be doomed. But guess what? There was no follow-through. After that 8% drawdown, it's up 3.35%. It was up 6% at the high. So it's really come off. It tested that 200 moving average and kind of tested the demand line as a supply line that it broke down from. But I would say any day above $300 on Tesla is a great day. It's a day to, I mean, like, I think above 300, you have an argument to own it. And what did they even do so far? Here's a low that's higher than previous lows. Well, here's another low, and it's higher than this low. And I mean, my God, if this ends up being a swing low, it would be the highest low. No one would believe it. No, it can't happen. It's impossible. We got to go to the 200s. It's like, well, we don't have to if this level is defended by buyer. Dude, it's such a real level. Look, 2023 reversed there. It's like Ethereum's 3,800 level. Like, it's being regarded as support now. And look, going back to January 2021, it's like, it's there. It's very real. If you're above that, you are good. If you're above that, you still have that X, A, B, C to D wave situation where $400+ is the target. It's crazy. So you cannot write off Tesla just because it was down yesterday. Yeah, it didn't even fill the gap, which is, I guess, could be promising. It just, to me, looks like it certainly was not near enough to be what would be considered a breakaway gap, meaning a breakaway gap is on high volume and extreme, and the gap has to be massive. Okay, breakaway gap meaning like it's not gonna fill anytime soon. So we fortunately did not have that. So it's a kind of an everyday gap that has a high probability of filling at some point soon. So I appreciate that. Like this is kind of like a breakaway gap. High volume. Shoot, dude, 2 different breakaway gaps. Yeah, it was 2 different breakaways before it ran to all-time highs. You know, it tops out. And then eventually it filled. You know, the gaps filled, which is great. But yeah, I mean, definitely not a breakaway gap, and that's good. And above support, so there is no problem technically in Tesla yet. Okay, nice. Okay, so yeah, just real quick, let me show you. The S&P 500 futures top left is coming off of its all-time high we saw just a little while ago. We've had multiple fresh all-time highs today. We just had, you know, the last 4 candle was the highest close ever. Again, and then the Nasdaq. Sorry, I don't have my channels plotted on these because I had to restart. Didn't save my work, but you just had your last 4 candles the highest ever too. So you got 7 minutes and 50 seconds till the closing bell, and you got another hour left in futures trading until it closes for the entire weekend, and we'll reopen at 6 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. That's right, SMCI is king, man. Yep. I think they're probably one of the best looking semiconductors in terms for upside, for way more upside with structures and all that. AMD hit new highs today in terms of, like, you know, off of the rally, from the recovery rally off of April lows. Okay, let's just look at the Kang, man. The Kang of Kangs, of, you know, and the Kangs being the Mag 7. This is Microsoft. It almost hit a 1414 today. Fell just shy by a few pennies. 518. 29 was the all-time high. So you're just non-stop, no breaks, no pullback since its incredible earnings report. But it's cometh again. It's just crazy to think. 0 retraces in 3 months. And earnings will be on Wednesday? Yes, on Wednesday of next week. So if I was in on this, I don't know if I'd be sticking around for earnings. I'd probably be maybe at least taking a little profit. You know, that is insane. And also breakaway gap, by the way. High volume, huge gap in price. Yeah, breakaway, not filling anytime soon. That's what we were discussing on Tesla. You didn't have that, and that's good. Okay, so, and then let's look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA takeover, all-time highs today. It's beautiful. Intraday all-time highs. And it doesn't look like you're gonna, I mean, you could, but it's, yeah, 6 minutes. Looks like you'll be closing a little lower than the record close yesterday on the daily, but who cares? Because of the weekly, you certainly will have a record close. But what a channel, man, since April. It's very pretty. And there it is. There's the test. You look above my head on Bitcoin, right? They're still just battling it out. Support, they're trying to flip it to resistance. I hope they fail. Okay, so Microsoft, Tesla, NVIDIA, and then we can look at Google, up, you know, 0.6%. It was crazy. Let's see. I think going on 10 out of 11 days, multi-month highs on the close. 10 out of 11. The only day that we didn't see, and you know, what broke the streak was on the 23rd, the day before, the day of earnings. But other than that, every candle has been a higher close, the highest close since February, and you're going for it again today. Not by much. That's Google's style, I guess. Just never gonna melt up. Just gonna be a boomer, and slowly, methodically march, but you can still see it's at the top end of this channel as they tested it yesterday. But what's one piece of silver lining that's really nice is this old all-time high from July of last year. They held it yesterday successfully. You can't believe it. And today again, so 2 days in a row, they have confirmed an old resistance and resistance from February before rolling over and gap down. There's it's support now. Can't make it up. It's just that's what's happening. So you think your upside is maybe a little more limited due to the channel if it's respected, and you got a lot of downside potential, you know, before it becomes oversold in this uptrend. Go to 183 here, but you just wonder, it's like, okay, you got that, but you got the back test. So it's like, if they're successfully regarding it as support, what do we just start marking up next week? I mean, arguments both ways to play catch up. If you want to be in the realms of Nvidia and Microsoft, you're gonna have to go to 225, 234 if you ever want the same type of performance, and that's a long way off. So I mean, make of that what you will. Good stuff on Google, going for its highest weekly candle close. You know, it's going for its highest weekly candle close since January 27th, and there's the breakout on the weekly that you can kind of see. I mean, you can clearly see. And that is it. So let's go to Apple, that flat as ever. Ideolated price action up against the resistance, earnings on deck. It will be Thursday. They report, like, Thursday is the day of all days of the entire earnings season, July 31st, I believe. So buckle up for next week, but you will need some sort of surprise, some sort of catalyst, some sort of revolutionary thing. And oh, dude, we coming out with something that's crazy that will revolutionize the entire industry, probably for a huge gap up. Otherwise, it'll probably be nothing burger or down. But yeah, very, very tough here. I mean, long term, of course, it's incredible. But we're talking about the short term, I don't know. It's hard to manage risk at this point. The place to do it, we were discussing it at 196, 198. Yeah, if you wanted to construct a trading plan, that's the level to do it. And it's run up off of that. But, you know, it's just hitting the top and no higher. And it's been that way since the beginning of the month, man. God. Imagine sitting in Apple watching Microsoft, Nvidia, even Google now, and Amazon and Meta, every one of them except Tesla. So 5 of the 7 recovering to 78%, 88% retraces from their February highs beyond. And this one off its high, let's just say this was the high here. It had already topped out. Kind of weird, right? Others had not. Like the Nasdaq didn't top out until February. The Nasdaq was just matching this high. So from this high to low, you haven't even made a 61% retrace yet. Where Google's here, Amazon's here, Meta's here at the 100%. It's weird, right? It's like Google 786, Amazon 886, Meta 100%, Nvidia 1272, Microsoft virtually 1414. That's kind of crazy what's happening, right? And we're talking about the respective February 20th highs to April lows. Crazy. All right, we have 30 seconds to the closing bell. Amazon flat today, down. It hits at 886 and no higher. It's overhead resistance as well right here. 232, and that's it. That's where you're going to close. You're going to close at multi-month highs. And that is, and then we'll look at Meta, and then we'll just go to the S&P for the close. Here's Meta. I mean, not looking too hot. Earnings coming up, right, on Wednesday. So you never know, up or down. Flip a coin here, no value. So let us go and rejoice. Chat. A very historical close on the S&P and Nasdaq today. As you can see, the spider, never before seen prices and never before seen a close this high. 637.01 or 63, 6,370 and 10 cents on the SPX. And then forget the daily, even though it's incredible, It was the weekly. You now have 4 out of the past 5 weeks record closes. It is amazing. Historical recovery continues, and it all started with a piercing line reversal. Never forget how it all started. Learn your Japanese candlestick patterns. To identify the week, the day, the moment it was painted. When the ink dried on the wax dried of the candle. Wow, phenomenal. The Nasdaq as well. There it is. Yeah, 4 to 5 weeks. Record closes. It was almost a streak, but that 1 week closed lower, July 7th. But that's it, man. It's incredible. Just non-stop piercing line, bullish engulfing. I think I have the 1272 on the Nasdaq is 21671. But look, we were just skating in this beautiful summertime, 2025 summertime channel. Okay, supply line, demand line, you're up, just floating within the top part of it, occasionally testing the top of it, but just methodical and incredible. Gotta love it, man. Dow Jones not catching as much love, but we're just up again. It's probably going to happen next week, right? Probably test. They want to break the roof off. And if you ever did, which with earnings going on, very possible, 45K, they break it, you got a 47,370 target for the 1272. So up against heaven's door on the Dow Jones and the weekly. Oh, it's so close, man. Oh my God. Hold on, I'm scaling out so hard. Oh man, it was so close. Second highest weekly candle close ever. Just second to November of 2024. We closed at 44,910 and we closed today at 44,901. So we were like $10 or less than $10 away from an actual highest weekly candle close ever. Oh my God, man. Next week, let's do it. Next week. Okay, we've been live now for close to an hour. So if you're enjoying history just being made seconds ago, minutes ago, hit that like button, that bell, sub. Thanks for being here. We looked at all the magnificent sevens. All right. I want you to see something before I forget about it. First Solar Incorporated. Something really interesting is going on here where buyers have defended this 134 level not once but twice. Okay. And then they reconfirmed it pretty much in June. But now we have like a recognizable structure, a kind of a momentum shifting structure, an inverse head and shoulders. The buyers have recaptured the 200-day simple moving average, and you just painted your highest daily candle close since May 15th, and it was a confirmed candle close above 184.92, which is a very important level on this chart. Resistance from 2023. It's a zone. Support zone, resistance zone, support zone. They broke it. They've broken out. They've already broken a supply line. First Solar, Solar Edge was a trade setup. It was great, but this looks poised for way higher, and if not way higher, at least 221 next, 220 next. So I'm just making this, just giving it to you, just letting you know. First, like these solar companies, man, remember, level 2, level 3 humanoid civilizations, they harness the power of the sun. So just remember, where solar is the future, nuclear is too. Uranium making multi-year highs, nanonuclear just broke out, which, whatever. But solar in itself, alternative energy, so semiconductors, but I think it's part of the solar industry. Just saying, this is huge. This could have massive upside potential. Just letting you know, okay? Incredible. AMD, nice channel. It broke out above an old major inflection point. Look, dude, the high from November 2021. This is a big deal. To break that's huge. I mean, it could be 184 on deck, but when is earnings for this one? August 5th, so a couple weeks from now they report. But my God, what an unstoppable trend. The only time it fell out of that channel, that bullish abandoned baby. That's really cool to see. In the wild, how it played out. So just great to see some of these do things. Pin Gaming is a trade setup that posted this week due to price action. It's a simple bread and butter trade. It's buyers, not just like 1 and 2 on the weekly, okay, a confirmation low, but it's more lately. It's on the second test, on the successful bottom from buyers. Buyers recaptured this historical inflection point, 1740, 1772, resistance, support. Look at the consequences of it being support, way higher. They recaptured it and then they reconfirmed it. So it was a very simple spring back test trade where there wasn't much to it. It was literally just that. The line in the sand, your stop loss is below pretty much the $17 mark, and you're just, if you don't get stopped out, way higher. That's Penn Entertainment, Casinos Gaming, no expectations, no predictions, not acting like I know where this is going next, but we're just identifying. Look at the 200-day simple moving average being recaptured today as well. This is just this is what you look for as an actual swing trader, position trader. These are the things you're playing. The upside is massive. The downside is extremely limited to very little. Okay, up 5.6% today. Very nice. Very, very nice, man. Earnings, oh boy. Gosh dang, August 7th, so a couple weeks. Who knows? It's freaking earnings season, dude. If it survives, as long as it doesn't gap down below 1740, you're good. Let's read some chat. I mean, looked at chat, man. What's up, Cactus and Cody and Wayne Batson, Joe Potter and Toby Boy and JL. What's up, Brad? Daniel H, EJ, Mac, G Dog, Steve B. Echo Lee, what's up, man? What do you mean significance of earnings? What do you mean? What is the significance? What does that mean? What do you mean? You want Peter futures? Let's see if it did the thing again, dude. You will eat the bugs, chat. It's over. It's certain. You're eating bugs forever. The rest of your life, bugs. I mean, feeder cattle futures, unstoppable. Maybe it wasn't the highest daily candle close today, but it was 2 days ago, and it was almost, yeah, it was the second highest daily candle close ever today. Weekly close, forget about it. It is absolutely freakish. We wish this was Bitcoin. Look, oh wow, look at that. Whoever requested it, it was Doc's bet. Jesus chimes for feeder cattle futures, hitting its major 1618, 332. And how did I anchor it from the 2014 peak to the lowest low after April 2020 COVID crash? Golden mean ratio achieved this week, 332. That is amazing. Obviously highest weekly candle close ever. Kind of like a 3-bar play. Are you kidding me? Confirmed. What if they break that? That's it, man. I mean, this is where it's like, okay. I mean, this is the last logical level that exists on GF1 before, who knows, 400? 2618, it's 472? Doc's bet, you see in this? This is crazy. And then we can go to cattle futures. Sorry, we're just kind of like all over the place, but whatever, man. Like, someone wanted to see it. I mean, it's pretty dead today, so Ellie won. Yeah, dude, this is crazy. It's just unstoppable. It's still at it's still right at that hop of the deep crab, 1.902 or whatever. That's the harmonic optimum price of these extension patterns. And looking at the daily, dude, it's still like, it's paused, right? It broke out, it's back tested the breakout, kind of has support, and it's just sitting there paused. It has not begun to play out really. So feeder cattle futures. So the cost to feed these cows is more crazy right now. So it just could be getting ready to go, but this is just like, wow, the extreme threshold of the validity of a bearish harmonic pattern. Unreal. Hey, oat futures, boomer, but maybe one day. Like, you're talking about the lowest risk levels for oat futures. It may never play out, but the argument just keeps getting stronger down here at like classic accumulation, trading above supports after the M shape. I just like, yeah, you'd think eventually oats are going to go to 487 if this holds. My God, like a long extended type 2 return of this mega shark. Crazy. Cocoa futures was up today. Failed harmonic. Very much failed. Wow. But maybe that's the harmonic, the harmonic optimum price. Dang, man, that was not. I wouldn't have been in it. I'd have been, if I'd have traded this, I'd have been stopped out. 5,600 right there. If they can recapture 5,800, though, that might be amazing. If they could recapture and reconfirm, like, because they broke support, but they haven't done too much with it. So if they can do this and this, I'd be back on board with cocoa futures. Just not until. Lean hogs, still crazy after making, multi-year highs. What a trend, man. What a freaking trend on hogs. Bacon, your bacon chart. Anyway, I'm not trying to spend too much time on this, dude. How about your rare earth and strategic metals? You remember we were here talking about this, screaming at you, like top of my lungs, raging out, talking about this is it. This is cycle bottom levels, and it's been an elevator up for the past 2 weeks off the bottom. And it's disappointing because you're like, well, what about Lithium Americas Corporate? I know, dude. I don't tell you. There's probably a supply line too that, yeah, you're breaking it. 1, 2, 3, 4. You broke it. A lot of gaps. But yeah, any pullback, it'll be fine. At this point, that's a crazy impulse. Come back to 44, 57, test it, make a higher low, and then run again later. Don't care. But it's like bottomed out. Like, we got a new cycle on rare earth and strategic metals. Amazing. Copper, if you don't know, made an all-time high yesterday. Yep, fresh all-time highs yesterday. Highest weekly candle close ever, or at least in 46 minutes. Still going. And broke this crazy channel that has been confined in. This is wild, dude. Copper, all-time highs, chat. Unreal. Gold, though, couldn't break it. They could not break the sell wall. So there was supply at the sell wall. People were selling at the sell wall. It looked so good. And it's like, oh, man, 3-day route now. Just can't do it. Down almost 1%. And you're getting really close to the apex. So, I mean, remember, it's a bullish reaccumulation structure and a good trend. But as we saw, even with XRP in that little 4-hour, it looked identical to this. Like, it resolved downward. So you can measure the move up or down. So if it's down, simple. If they break it down, then it's hey, $3,000 target. Boom. Psychological level, the 200-day moving average is there. Okay, gold goes through correction, whatever. Or if it breaks upward, like, I mean, if something happens and then it's going to pivot and run, then it's like a 37.49. So it's like whichever way you can target. Thanks for the less than 500 people here and less than 200 likes. Thank y'all. We might have a record today. A bad record, but what are you going to do? Okay. Dell, wow. Up against resistance. Mattel. Ugh, wrecked forever. Hilton. Looks like Meta. Like almost identical to Meta. A little stronger. Nearing a breakout point. Hotels, man. Some casinos. Entertainment. Spotify. Unstoppable. Will pivot and make another all-time high. But earnings coming up on Tuesday. Shake Shack, my God, man. Dude, Shake Shack's about to break it. It hits, you know, it hit the last aggressive target and then reversed violently, but the trend's still good. V-shaped recovery, mega breakout watch, earnings coming up on Thursday. So earnings could kill this, but you were on possible price discovery watch. How the humble beginnings on Shake Shack. This was identified a long time ago in this stream, in this community, and it's beautiful to see how it unfolded. Wonderful. Bad for stream, good for markets. I don't know. Yeah, sure. Dexcom, wow, they've recaptured really key level. This is very interesting on this chart. I don't know if you know what Dexcom medical specialty is, but above $84, this is actually really good here. It's almost like a type 2 return almost of this shark, of the hop. But despite anything, they've violated the levels, they recaptured, reconfirmed it. You spring back tested in June, and now you're capturing 84. The upside is literally to 104 to 110 on Dexcom. That's pretty phenomenal there. Okay. Nice shark though, right? Nice reaction, and this is possibly the type 2. I'd pay attention to Dexcom, man. There's a lot of upside here. I mean, to run to the next major resistance, that's minimum 20%, all the way up to 26% upside. So, wow. Wish I'd seen this sooner, but it's still right there, you know. Intel destroyed. Yeah, Intel destroyed. Yeah, gap down 8.5% like Tesla, but what do they put in a higher low eventually in the previous lows? Yeah. It's range bound since August of last year, going on 1 year of sideways. And yeah, this is what happens, man. Earnings comes out and yep, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. It's just like Tesla. Like it hasn't made a lower low than its previous discernible swing low on the chart yet. But that's a lot of volume. I don't know if that's a breakaway gap. That would be really disappointing at these basement levels. Dude, you are at the basement, man. Levels you hadn't seen since 2010. Sucks you're back below the 200 moving average. Yeah, it does throw some cold water on the Wyckoff accumulation schematic for now, but it's not invalid. It's just disappointing. ODP, yeah, dude, that little third valley, I think Wayne Batson or someone brought, dude, this is like actionable. It's unbelievable. Like you can't even believe this, and no one's watching. I don't at all, but like, dude, the insanity of this. This is the ODP comet, like the Olin comet. The ODP comet is within the naked eye's reach, where we can see it. It's all happening at the level of all levels, where it's always reversed. It's like a cycle bottom, like remix, like for Earth Strategic Materials. Same thing, like you're just at the bottom, but now you're showing a pattern that's recognizable. Now, of course, you know, earnings will probably kill August 6th, 2 weeks. We got earnings, so God, I just cannot wait till this crap's over but that's a nice 3 valley structure, and it's a perfect back test we got today. Closed up 2.2% after the test. So, I mean, you could construct a plan where your stop's at like 1660 or something. And if you get stopped out, then this whole structure has failed. It's not even a real structure anymore. So that's why you get stopped out. And that's not much of a loss with upside that is massive, like ridiculous upside. We're talking historically looked, I mean, $34, $35 minimum. That's like your hardcore target. So I would just pay attention to ODP, man. That's trade setup. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we've been live 1 hour, 7 minutes. All right, man. Well, definitely work for free today. Yeah, Valero hit a resistance, pull back. It's probably just going to pivot, make a higher low, and run again. I think this one's great, especially after that. That was all we could do is talk about it in May. The spring back test, just like the old trade setup that hit the 1618. Amazing there. NIO, how's that, dude? Wow, never even pulled back. Well, it happens sometimes like that. You could still get this at any time. Give me a pullback. Give me a third valley. Sometimes it's just like you can't. You have to have it perfect. It has to recapture and then reconfirm. I mean, I guess they technically did it right here on July 16th, but yeah, it had just been. And I think you could still end up doing it where you get something like that, and it would be so freaking good, man. I would totally be down with that. So NIO, they recapture the levels, and you hit an 88% retrace, 95% retrace from the low point to high point from 2019 to the peak in 2021. So these are basement levels. Dominoes is great, man. It's trade setup. Dominoes, the trade setup, dude. 3 rising valleys. Buyers recapture the key inflection point above the 200 moving average. Earnings is in October, thank God. Sick of this earnings stuff. Coming up to just throw cold water on the structures, but not on this one. You're golden here, okay? It is perfect. It is set up for I think, minimum 537 to 562. All-time highs on deck with this structure. Okay, you're still at, I mean, not, it's often the best entry because it's, we posted it, I think, last week, but you're still, like, it hasn't, the lion's share of the move, it is not resolved yet. I'll just say that. No resolution on DPZ yet. Resolution will be when we begin to mark up and start breaking the highs above $495 and $500. And then you've got Fibonacci extension targets for your big take profits up there. So yeah, dude, this one's, it's good to have in the portfolio. Have a couple call options, whatever, let it ride, man. Forget about it. DHR also very interesting. Wow. That is not a joke, man. It's a level from history in 2020, 2021, right? It's been support. They tested it in 2023. They violated it in April, violated it in May, formally kind of regarding it in July. I mean, that is a lot of work. The sellers have tried so desperate. I mean, they were so desperate and they tried so hard and they failed so bad. So you would think a minimum target on DHR is like 219.50 at least. Maybe they rolled over there, but just cool to see buyers come back in. Like the sellers break and they can't do anything, and the buyers kind of recapture the momentum. Very nice. Yeah, dude, that's bad. But if we look at readdress the Chipotle massive drawdown yesterday, it was down 13.3%, and today was up 2.2%, but technically didn't do anything good. A resistance from December of 2023 is being regarded as resistance again, and that's it. It's a high volume candle. I'm wondering if this is a breakaway gap. This very well could be a breakaway gap. We discussed that type of gap earlier. This has the makings of it, or a huge markdown in price on extremely unusual volume. You got both of those. So even if this runs above $48, if we don't fill that gap and you start rolling over, that's how you pretty much confirm the breakaway. Like it could, you know, they'll do it. The breakaway gap occurs and they'll run it, and then they just fail to see it, and you start rolling over and you start marking down again. That's how you know breakaway gap not filling anytime soon, most likely. So yeah, it could even go to like $50 and still be valid as a breakaway. Nasty. I mean, I hope it holds here somehow. I hope it's not a breakaway gap. That's just a lot of volume, man. Whew. All right. Well, we looked at a lot of stuff already on stream. Already, man. History was made. People just, I don't know. People don't care about the S&P and the Nasdaq making all-time highs. Like, do you not own any of this? I mean, like, are y'all not, y'all's portfolio is just all in butthole coin? I mean, clearly. Like, it's pretty clear. Like, y'all are, like, obsessed with scam coins and don't care if the S&P and Nasdaq and Microsoft and Nvidia making all-time highs. But I don't even get it, because it's like BNB made all-time highs like a couple days ago. XRP. Bitcoin, they all made the highest weekly candle close ever on Sunday. I don't get it. Like, what is up with this? It's just crazy. Nothing's ever good enough for people to be happy. It's like, it has to be like Bitcoin at 1 million, or I hate everything. I cannot be bothered to participate in chat if, you know, Bitcoin's not hey-songing. It's like, all right, dude. Okay, I'm out. Well, this is a record, chat. This is the first stream. I'm just going to be real. This is the first stream I've ever done where I've received 0 contributions. So, congrats. We did it, man. I'll be back sometime. Respect the TA.
What you think is up with TLT? Been holding steady a little more than usual. Go dorks.
What's that, Scabble? TLT? Looked at it on Scott's stream. Well, maybe not. I think maybe looked on my stream. It's up today. It could be bottoming. I don't know. I mean, like, it's terrible, dude. It's if bonds are bottoming, do you think bonds, if they bottom and they're gonna rally, do you think it's gonna outperform like anything that you could find on the stock market or crypto market with a good trade setup, like a big M shape with type 2 return with divergence and all that? It's not. So it's just like, even if it is bottoming here at $85 and it's gonna run to $94, $97, dude, that's like zero yield. It's so bad, it doesn't even matter. You get how bad that is? When the TLT, if it's bottoming, it doesn't even matter, because it will still underperform like many different things that you could buy or own, most likely. So that's your TLT. Until we recapture $88, it's garbage. But yeah, they pivoted it here today or this week, and maybe it'll hold again, man. But maybe it'll rally and make another lower high. You know, this was the lowest high of the multi-year downtrend, lowest high. And bearish back test of what? This level. That, I mean, think about it. Back in 2009 and 10 and 11, it was resistance in 03, support in 05. I mean, just given enough time below $88, $87, you can just think at least 82 again, 82.50. But yeah, it could also be bottoming out, and it's like, it doesn't even matter, because it will not generate enough yield to keep up with monetary debasement that is annualized. All right, it's just not. But hey, I hope it bottoms for the sake of boomers and people that involved with bonds, you know. Thanks, dude. Oh yeah, and Agar, James Agar, he tipped earlier. I forgot. So almost, it was still like pretty much a record, you know, one. It's all good though. Kings.
Have a great weekend.